or visit frlawgroup.com.
If I traded it.
So welcome back, everyone. I love that we have so much things from one thing to the next here on this show, okay? Because my next guest has never been on my show before. I have with me Peter South, and he is the owner of iTrip Vacations Tempe Phoenix. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, thanks, Carol. Appreciate it. So my name is Peter, and what we do is we provide property management for your short-term rentals, your Airbnb, your VRBOs. That's all we do, and we love being in the vacation business.
So there's a lot of people that you said before you came on the show that either have an Airbnb or want to make their property an Airbnb. How do they go about doing that through you?
Yeah, so I mean, in Airbnb, it sort of started as a do-it-yourself space, but what we've noticed is that this is really a multi-billion-dollar business, and there are a lot of components to making your property stand out. And so us as a full-service property management, we want to make sure that your property gets the best viewing all over the internet, all over Airbnb, so that way you can have the most exposure, the most money, and then we do everything for you. So you don't have to contact the guests, and you don't have to clean the properties and pay all the taxes. We take care of that all for you, and you can just sit home and collect the rent, collect the checks, which is my favorite. Yeah,
cha-ching, cha-ching. So your house has become now a way of making money. What is the process? They have to have does it matter what kind of house they have or what kind of shape it's in?
Yeah, so the great thing is that really there's properties for everybody. So whether you have a big giant house with a beautiful pool or whether you just have a 2-bedroom, there are people that are coming here all over the city, not just Scottsdale. They come to Avondale, they come to Gilbert, they come to Maricopa. No matter where you are, there is a person that wants to come stay in your house.
Yeah, they do. I know. Now, let me ask you this, though. Here, we're talking about Phoenix. We're talking about the weather here. Let's talk about why it's all year round. It doesn't matter when. No matter how hot it is, they still want to come here.
Yeah, I mean, people always say, why would anyone have a short-term rental in Phoenix? Why don't you do the mountains? Well, we all live here. We're trying to flee the heat, but everybody from here is from somewhere else. And so I always make the joke, like, you want to go to a Cubs home game, just go to the Chase Field when the Cubs are in town, because somebody's coming here to visit grandma. Or really, the number one reason that I have seen people come over the spring, kids' sports. There are
what a great idea.
Hundreds and hundreds of families traveling every weekend for their kids' sports.
Absolutely. Yeah, sporting is different with it's not when I was a kid, right? And so what you're saying is they want grandma to be here, they want the family to be here. This is a way of them being able to do it, right?
Exactly.
So what do? They go up onto your website, and what do they do?
Yeah, so people always ask me, how much can I make? That's really the number one question. So contact me, say, hey, I've got this property. I'm looking at a property. Maybe you have a place in mind. Where should I buy? I'll walk through that. I'll say, you might make $50,000. You might make $80,000. I'll give you the real numbers so you can make an informed decision on how much can I earn with my investment.
So the website is tempe.itrip.co. The phone number to call them is 480-586-9096, and he helps people mostly in the Tempe, Phoenix, West Valley area. And you do free consultations for people?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, even if you're just looking at a property, if you're do-it-yourself, if you have a long-term rental, can I make more in a long-term and a short-term? We'll just walk through it. I'm just here to educate you so that you can make wise choices with your investment. I did it with my own personal house. I had a long-term investment. I made like $16,000 last year. Well, that's not enough. This year I'm on track to make like $45,000.
How are you going to do that?
That's a lot more.
Have a little alcohol in the house? How do you do that?
Well, I mean, we do always usually offer a nice complimentary bottle of wine because when I go on vacation, I like to have a cocktail.
So do you help them with all of that? Because,
yes.
When what you're talking about, almost anyone now could make money off of either investments that they have, their homes that they have, and you can take care of it from soup to nuts.
Exactly. Start to finish. I mean, you can do it yourself. There are lots of people that do it yourself, but there are so many components. And, the trouble with owning property is that when something happens, that's now your full-time job. And, boy, wouldn't it be nice if someone like me, your property manager, took care of it. And also, you're going to make the same money. You're not going to make less money with a property manager. We list your property on over 80 different booking sites. So it's not just Airbnb. It's VRBO, Booking.com, Marriott Homes and Villas. You can use your Marriott points to book our properties.
You can call him. His phone number is 480-586-9096. The website is tempe.itrip.co. Remember, CO. And again, he does free consultations. Tip of the day, okay? I want to know, because you said something that you came on. What is one of your tips for everybody? Listen up, everyone.
Yes, please listen to this tip. When you go on vacation, no matter where you go, use Airbnb, use Vrbo. They're great tools. They are really the best to find a property. But look, who owns that property? When you see this property is managed by iTrip Vacations Tempe, Google that person's site, book directly with the property manager. You will save yourself $300 to $500 on the Airbnb fees. I mean, $500 per trip, that's a flight. That's a big family dinner. So book directly with the property manager.
It's a lot less money because you're going to save yourself big time. And that where you come in to, if somebody right now either already owns, they're already doing an Airbnb and they don't have a property management, I bet you anything that they prefer having that. It's like anything else. Sometimes people own their own homes and they're renting them out, they're flipping them, and you know what? They're now starting to do all of that themselves, and that is a job in itself. It's somebody that needs to know what they're doing. Do you agree with that?
Exactly. It doesn't happen by magic. We go into our properties every single time. We inspect them. We make sure that these properties are ready. And good reviews means more money for you. And ask yourself, do I have the time and the care to go into every property every single time, check every single drawer, to get those good reviews? That's what's going to drive your revenue. And that's what we do for you to make sure your property is perfect every single time, every single guest. Every 4 days, there is somebody coming into your house, and we are checking it, cleaning it so that they have a best vacation Arizona experience they can have.
That phone number again to call them, it's 480-586-9096. You can check him out on his website. It's tempe.itrip.co. He helps people in the Tempe, Phoenix, the West Valley area, and he does free consultations. For somebody who's doing this, what do they need to do to prepare themselves to start to wanting to turn their house into an Airbnb?
Yeah, so I mean, the reality is beautiful houses book better. So
I'm out. No, I'm just kidding.
The more beautiful your house is, we feast with our eyes. You go on the internet, you Google the property, boom, there's a beautiful picture. Make sure that your house is beautiful. It doesn't have to be. Everything doesn't have to be the most expensive. It just has to look beautiful and then actually be beautiful when they arrive.
Well, then if they make it beautiful, then somebody's going to be attractive to someone. They can also offer more money as well. Could they do that?
Exactly, yeah. So if you have a Viking range and you have an arcade table
I'm coming over.
And a pool table, you can charge a premium. If your pool is heated, yes. But that doesn't mean that if you don't have all those things, your house won't book. There is a place for everybody, from the most expensive to just regular families that want to go and save money from the hotel. They don't want to stay in the Marriott where it's going to charge them $350 a night. But it does cost money to get it started. But the money is 3 to 5 times more than if you did it just a traditional long-term rental. And so you recoup that money so much faster within the first, worst case, the first 14 months, you recoup all of that money that you might have to lay out. So really small investment in my eyes to get that much more money in the future.
Also, the other thing I want to ask you though, when let's say you have somebody property's really hot and it's great, do they come in? Do you have people that come in that you have that that are there all the time, that are coming in? Let's say 5 times a year, and that that house is being booked already like that, or how does it work?
Yeah, so I mean, lots of people, once you find a place, people like to come back. They like familiarity. And so you do see that very often, is that people book over and over again, and they get to know you and you get to know them. And that's really one of the fun parts of being in the vacation business, is that you really get to be just part of everyone's celebrations, which is really cool. Just to be a little part of making someone's celebration that much better.
Now, number to call them again, it's 480 586-9096, tempe.itrip.co, and he does free consultations. And we don't have to worry about the weather, because you know what? People are coming here all the time. Definitely want to come here in the summertime, because maybe they got wet heat where they are. They want a little dry heat. But I thought what was great about what you said too is a lot of people have their kids in sports, and they want their parents, or they want their grandparents to come. It's a great idea and a great tip too for everybody that is thinking about even booking one. Book through the owner themselves. You save lots of money. Check them out on the website. It is tempe.itrip.co or 480-586-9096.